Hey guys, Blaziken Blitz here, welcoming you back to Yu-Gi-Oh! Duelists of the Roses. And today, well, we're actually going to make some progress in this game for once. But first, let's check out our deck. Now that we've done some grinding, I think it's a better idea to check this out. So as you can see, we've got cards over here that aren't being used. And that's because, with grinding, I can grind cards. I'll show you how to do that later when we do the extras video. But, for now, let's go over the team. Or the deck, I should say. We still have Curse Breaker, because it's useful for being able to get rid of things with boosts. Skull Servant, Standard Zombie. Now I have 3 Violet Crystals, which all boost the power of zombie monsters by 500 points. And that's really useful for boosting my own monsters, because that's really one of the better things, one of the better strategies in this game, is to get your monsters boosted up to really high attack power levels, and just kind of running over everything. That is, if you're not using special cards. We'll get to that later, too. Shadow Spectre is another standard zombie. Kagemusha, the Blue Flame, allows 4 fusions. Phantom Ghost, the standard zombie. Ukazi inflicts 500 points of damage. We have one of those. We have 2 dragon zombies, both with 1600 attack. So, very useful for starting out attacks. These are also useful for fusions as well. Fiend's Hand, when it's destroyed in battle, it destroys the opposing monster as well. And it's good for fusions, so I keep it in. Akakaizu is for fusions. Mammoth Graveyard is for fusions. Living Vase is also for fusions. As you can see, there are a lot of potential fusions I can do with this deck, and that means that I have a potential for a lot of slightly stronger monsters. Sagitai the Dark Clown is for fusions, and then we've got Zombie Warrior, which is a very standard standard zombie, pretty much the pawn of the zombie world. I got 3 of those. I got Blue-Eyed Silver Zombie, which is like one of the biggest catalysts to the strategy that I'm going to be performing a lot of the time during this game. When this card is flipped face up, all of your monsters are transformed into zombie monsters. Now, when you fuse a zombie with a plant like Living Vase, and both attacks are strong enough, then you can get Pumpkin, the King of Ghosts, which in face-up defense position raises every single zombie by 100 points every turn. So, being able to rack up a lot of strong monsters, turn them into zombies, and then have them get continually boosted is kind of the strategy we're going for in this deck for this game. Lesser Dragon is for fusions. Trial of Nightmare... I don't remember if I need this. I'm keeping it in the deck anyway, but I don't remember if I need a Fiend, necessarily. I have 3 Snake Yashis, because those are very helpful in transforming into Pumpkin. Because basically what you want to do is you want to get a zombie or a plant. You want to get both a zombie and a plant, but one of them has to be 1000 attack or higher. Otherwise, you're going to be getting a monster called Wood Remains, which is not what we want. We have Dark Assailants, which are basically just a small upgraded version of the Zombie Warriors. Doku Roizo, the Grim Reaper, is not affected by traps. So, in case I need something that isn't affected by traps, it's useful. It's also another basic zombie, allows me to fuse. Lizard, I believe I don't need Lizard either, but again, it's useful to have. You know what, I'll just swap that out right now. We can put another... we can put Skullstalker in there. Magical Ghost I got from grinding. It's a fusion of a spellcaster and a zombie. It's a useful monster. Slightly stronger than the Zombie Warrior and Dark Assailant. Got 2 of those. Witty Phantom is a fiend that is strengthened in Yami, and it's a fairly strong monster otherwise. It can be used with Blue-Eyed Silver Zombie, so it's helpful. Cross Clown actually fuses with the zombie to get Clown Zombie. So this is for fusions. Yami makes it so that I can transform a surrounding area into Yami, which allows me to have my monsters powered up in a certain area. Shadow Ghoul is a strong zombie. Patrician of Darkness I got from grinding. Basically, it's my deck leader, and it's a very powerful zombie. Skullbird is one of my better candidates for turning into a zombie, mainly because it's got strong attacks here and there. I'm going to keep it in here for that purpose. Great Mammoth of Goldfine is my strongest zombie, and usually it's the thing that runs over everything. And that's it. Whoops. Whoops. Let's fix that. Where are you? There we go. But yeah, that's the squad. Today, we will be taking on Weevil Underwood. His deck cost is $854. As you can see down below, our deck cost is $840, so we're all good to challenge Weevil. Yeah, I'm not going to voice act unless it's like a giant cutscene, right? I really don't want to ruin my voice all that much. And here we are. So this game is a lot different than normal Yu-Gi-Oh games. As you can see, I have a deck leader here, who is basically the equivalent of a king in chess. If you attack the king, it does damage to my life points, and once my life points reach 0, it's the end of the game. Any monsters that are attacked in attack position lose life points that are the differential of the stronger monster. It's basically Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's a strategy game. So as you can see, I can just summon monsters in a little one-space area around my deck leader. And I get a 5-card hand. I can see that I already have potential fusion in hand, so if I fuse Snake Yoshi with Zombie Warrior, I get a fusion. And thus, I have Pumpkin the King of Ghosts, which I can put in defense position here. With that, I can only do one summon or one card selection per turn. So, I have to pass it off to Weevil. Pumpkin activates its ability there. And now, every turn, I get 3 stars up in the corner in my little player box there. I need enough stars to be able to summon the monsters that I'm going to want to summon. Right now, I have Sagi the Dark Clown at 3. I have 3 stars currently, and I have these 2 monsters at 4 stars. Fusions don't matter, you can summon them regardless, but they will run you down the amount of stars that the monster itself is, the end product. So if you have 4 stars and you summon Pumpkin, you're going to end up with 0 anyway. But I'm going to use Ukazi here to inflict damage on Weevil, because I believe that's probably the smartest move right now. And then I'm going to end my turn because I don't have much better to do. As we can see, Q's monster right there. My one Pumpkin is increasing its own attack and defense. And now I have even more ammo to summon yet another Pumpkin. This Dark Assailant and this Snake Yoshi will fuse together to form another Pumpkin, the King of Ghosts. And I will power it up with my Violet Crystal, allowing me to have 2 Pumpkins powering each other up. Yes, these effects do stack, so every time it's my turn, each Pumpkin will gain 200 attack and defense points. I haven't played Weevil in a long time, so honestly, I don't remember everything that he does. Oh, but I remember that. I remember that not very fondly. But you can see my pumpkins are rapidly gaining strength. I believe Larva Moth over here has an effect. Let's check that out. Cannot move, but transforms into Pupa of Moth if the card survives 5 turns in face-up defense position after being flipped face-up by the controlling player. If destroyed prior to transformation, the card is revived as a larvae moth in its own summoning area other than the current location. So basically, this thing takes a while to summon, but when you're able to summon it, like, its final form, it is incredibly powerful. Which is why, preferably, we're going to prevent that from happening. But sometimes we might not end up having a choice. Here's a little strategy that I'm going to be performing here. I see Living Vase, and Living Vase itself is not going to have enough attack points to become a pumpkin. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fuse Skull Servant and Sagi the Dark Clown, and then Living Vase. Because Skull Servant and Sagi the Dark Clown make Magical Ghost. And then fusing Magical Ghost with Living Vase will in turn create another pumpkin. Which I can flip into defense position, and now I have 3 pumpkins powering themselves up each turn. As you can see, this strategy starts to get really add up after a while, because now I'm gaining 300 attack and defense points every single turn. Which still seems kind of small, but really adds up quickly. That's 1 pumpkin's effect. That's 2 pumpkin's effects. That's 3 pumpkin's effects. And now I have a Yami in hand, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a Violet Crystal on Pumpkin first, because that larva moth is really starting to scare me, and what I want to be able to do is to be able to destroy that monster it summons by the time it's summoned. So right now we've got 2 kind of powerful pumpkins, and 1 really powerful one. And that really powerful one should be able to plow through whatever he has, granted a few more turns. Man, this is lagging. Why is this lagging so much? And now I can kind of see his monsters trying to make moves on mine, because obviously they're in a favorable terrain. So what I'm going to do is move my deck leader out here so I can bring my Yami out here. And that will be able to, and when I flip that face up, after moving it here the next turn, I will be able to actually have my pumpkins in favorable terrain. Or at least 2 of them, I think. Enough of them at the very least. To where he won't be able to destroy my pumpkins, which ends up being very useful. As you can see, he has to stand by all his monsters at least once, and now the pumpkins activate their ability once more. As you can see, this deck strategy can be a little bit tedious at times, especially if my game's lagging, which right now it is for some reason. It wasn't lagging in tests or... Oh! Walk attack. Okay. Well, that prevents my card from being flipped face up because of how the card itself works. So, what we're going to have to do here is let one of those pumpkins die to whatever this monster coming into it is. Or for it to flip face down, or flip into defense position, because sometimes it does that. The AI is a bit finicky at times. And so I never know what to really make of it. And yeah, it's gonna flip itself into defense position, so I really don't know what to make of it. Now the pumpkins again power themselves up. And by now this pumpkin that started at 1800, 2000 is at 3000, 3200. So, it's making severe progress. And now I activate Yami, which changes this forest terrain into Yami terrain. And what Yami terrain does is it powers up my monsters specifically. Zombies, fiends. Yeah, zombies and fiends get pluses in Yami terrain. Now I get to summon my Great Mammoth of Goldfine because it's in favorable terrain and it's going to be getting 300 attack and defense per turn. And now his Pupa Moth is starting to become whatever it is. Weevil seems to be playing very defensively. And now he has Larva Moth, I believe it is? Pupa Moth. No, it was Larva of Moth before, okay. And his Pupa of Moth cannot move, but transforms into perfectly ultimate Great Moth if the card survives one turn in face-up defense position after being faced up by the controlling player. If destroyed in battle, their card is revived as Great Moth in its own summoning area other than the current location. So it basically is the same effect, but then he summons a really powerful monster if it survives. Which, I mean, I'm well equipped to take it on now with whatever I decide I want to do with that. Right now, I can summon a Magical Ghost and have that be my 5th monster, but I can change that by getting rid of it at any time. But yeah, I'm fairly certain I am just fine for that to become a perfectly ultimate Great Moth. It's a really strong monster, but I'll do just fine because I can destroy it. And now he decides he wants to make a move in Yami terrain against my monster in the middle there, which I... Yep, there's his perfectly ultimate Great Moth. And I keep getting powered up. What is he having in defense position though? What does it do for him? Oh, all enemy monsters are reduced by 100 points each turn. Well, that's okay because my monsters are getting increased by 300 each turn. So I am perfectly okay with that. Yeah, that is indeed my mammoth. I'll just attack this face down here. Oh, you have, negate attack. Okay. Whatever, I'm cool with that. If you want to attack me, that's cool too. I'm well open to anything you want to do at this point, Weevil. he has his 100 power decrease here, which doesn't really affect me a whole lot, I will be honest. I'm kind of doing just fine. But it looks like he's going to attack me here. It's Kuwagata Alpha versus my Great Mammoth and Goldfine. And here's an animation. I will show off all the animations of my monsters, at least the new ones that we haven't seen the animations for yet. And then anything else will be skipped, because realistically, you don't need to see animations every single time. It's just not preferable to a good Let's Play. But Kuwagata Alpha goes down. He takes 1950 life points. And my monster lives. Suddenly he's playing a lot less defensive, and I'm not quite sure why. But I'm not really complaining, because now my pumpkins increase my monster's attack and defense by 300 yet again. And I'm going to attack with this pumpkin. And it looks like it's big insect, so I'm going to inflict enough life points to just take out Weevil right here and now. And here is Pumpkin's animation. And because Pumpkin attacked, it celebrates. But yeah, that will inflict 3,100 life points to Weevil, and we will win. And after each match, you get a graveyard slot machine. And basically what this is you get to have 3 of the opponent's cards depending on what you roll in these slot machines. So I'm hoping for something good here. Okay, Oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, I have Cocoon of Evolution, I guess. That's something. I need to check out exactly what that does. But we beat Weevil Underwood. And we obtained a Rose card. And 2 more paths open up to us. With that, I'm actually going to check out what Cocoon of Evolution does before I end the episode, because I'm kind of curious. Oh, what is that awful sound? You know what? Maybe I'll just end the episode. I will see you guys next time for Rex Raptor.